Phil Lowe, the RBA governor, did say in his statement yesterday that the RBA was in part forced to raise those rates because the economy is doing pretty well. So it's a bit of a tick for the government, isn't it?
Well, we would like to see the economy grow strongly, and we would like to see it grow without adding to inflationary pressures. And, we've been quite reasonable about this, Michael. We've acknowledged that there are international factors that are contributing to interest rate rises. We don't judge the Prime Minister for not taking responsibility for all of the challenges Australians are facing right now, but we do judge him for taking responsibility for none of it. Right now, Australians are facing skyrocketing costs of living, flat wages, and now an interest rate hike. And the reality is, Michael, around the breakfast tables of Australia today, people know that they're going to face these rising costs, but they don't have any hope that their wages are going to go up. So that's why we need a plan to grow the economy sustainably, a plan to help Australians meet these costs of living, and that's what Jim Chalmers and Katie Gallagher outlined last week.
OK, so what is that plan? Well, let's hypothesise, and seeing Labor winning on May the 21st, the RBA has made it very clear there'll be a number of rate rises this year. How would a Labor government deal with the impact of high mortgages and greater stress around those kitchen tables?
You're absolutely right that whoever wins on May 21 is going to inherit a really challenging situation, $1 trillion of debt with very little to show for it, higher interest rates. We know from the RBA those interest rate hikes are coming, and flat wages. So the plan that we've put forward, a plan for a better future, seeks to assist families meet some of those rising costs of childcare cut under Labor, cheaper medicines, cheaper power prices, which will also help businesses, Michael, meet those rising costs. We've also got, as outlined on the weekend, our Help to Buy plan, helping people get into the housing market, and a plan for good, secure jobs where we get wages moving again. And let me give you two examples of that. One, our childcare plan to make childcare cheaper will help people get more hours at work. The Reserve Bank's made the point. There are domestic constraints in the economy right now. One of those is skill shortages. This will help our skilled workers, particularly mums, get back into the workforce. Secondly, investing in our own people. 465,000 fee-free TAFE places, helping Australians get the skills they need to fill those skill shortages in the economy.
The government this morning has announced it'll have a 2-year freeze of the pension deeming rate to protect pensioners who have other investments from the impact of this higher rate environment. Will Labor match that promise?
Michael, we've always said where there are good ideas, we will support them. We sought to be constructive during the pandemic and did support many of the measures. And looking at this decision today, we've said yes, this is a good idea, and we will.
You'll support it in full.
Yes.
OK. To a couple of other issues on the election campaign now. Has Tanya Plibersek been in hiding?
Oh, Michael, this is a ridiculous story being pushed around by the government, desperate to distract from the cost of living crisis that has occurred on their watch. And also this morning, I would say, desperate to distract from the Prime Minister's own comments about a national anti-corruption commission. It's extraordinary to me that we've got a Prime Minister and a Treasurer, as we saw in your program just moments ago, in disagreement with one another about the need for a federal anti-corruption commission. This is a Prime Minister that promised an anti-corruption commission, promised to deliver the Uluru Statement from the Heart and a voice to Parliament, and has backed away from both those things, promised a religious discrimination bill, has backed away from that, and now we see his own Treasurer unwilling to back him on his views. I'm going to say right here, I agree with Dominic Perrottet, the Liberal Premier of New South Wales. The ICAC does really important work, and the Prime Minister's comments undermining it do great damage to our democracy.
Well, speaking of Josh Frydenberg, he's facing a strong challenge from an independent in his seat of Kooyong. You are too, in the form of Day Lei. She is very popular in the Vietnamese community in the seat you're hoping to win, the seat of Fowler in Sydney. Anthony Green, who, as you know, knows a fair bit about elections and seats, reckons you should be concerned. Are you?
Yeah, Michael, I've been out and about as the endorsed candidate for Fowler now since September. Great reception in the community. Really, people are very keen to see the backside of this Morrison government in southwest Sydney because, they were done over really hard by the Prime Minister's failures to order enough vaccines, to order enough rapid antigen tests, to let the deadly Delta strain break out into the community and see some of the harshest lockdowns anywhere in Australia.
Anthony Green's really wrong, though. Are you concerned about potentially not winning that seat because you have been parachuted in from elsewhere?
Yeah, Michael, I am really loving the campaign and really excited about the opportunity to give Fowler something they haven't had previously, which is a voice right at the centre of government. They've never been represented by a minister, and I'm really keen, an area of Sydney I know well as a former Premier, to have the opportunity to represent.
Do you believe there'll be blowback, though, because you haven't lived there? You might know it, but you haven't lived there.
Michael, I've been living there since last year, and I have to say the reception. I have to say the reception on the ground is really positive.
OK, we'll find out on May the 21st. Christina Keneally, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.